back, and if you just joined us, you're still on to Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. The African Democratic Congress ADC has slammed President Bola Tinubu for failing to appoint ambassadors to Nigeria's foreign mission, warning that the prolonged absence is damaging the country's international reputation and weakening diplomatic ties.
In a statement by its interim National Publicity Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the party expressed concern that over 2 years after the recall of all 109 ambassadors in 2023, none have been replaced. It described the situation as embarrassing and warned it could prompt other nations to downgrade diplomatic relations with Nigeria.
Very true, and we have that the ADC stressed that critical issues such as visa delays, consular challenges, and missed opportunities for international partnerships have worsened due to the lack of proper representation.
The party also condemned the government's handling of a recent U.S. deportation request, criticizing the Foreign Minister's Republic comments on the matter as undiplomatic.
And also it urged President Bola Tinubu to urgently appoint ambassadors to restore Nigeria's global standing and protect its foreign interests. We still have it also, Barrister Ufeli. Thank you for hanging on, Barrister.
Very well.
All right, let's get to it. You know, we've discussed this dozens of times here on why President Bola Tinubu has religiously refused to appoint ambassadors. The question is, how is this becoming political? Knowing the president is a strategist when it comes to the politics and all that, could this be a political move such that as we draw closer to 2027, he might now select those that he feels are upset about him and gift them the opposition?
Well, I do not know what the president thinks about this, but I think it's becoming an embarrassment. You understand? I know that our international relation is non-alignment. Nigeria does not take side. That's what I mean by non-alignment. When two countries or more are having issues internationally and they need allies, where ours is non-alignment because first we are still struggling with survival. So it's not in our interest to go and be having, so that's by the wayside. Two, we need strong international ties. We need investors, okay? What is the job of an ambassador? The job of an ambassador is to keep the relationship between two countries or more cordial. Investment, trade, relationship, immigration, movement, and all that. That's the job. Now, Nigeria needs all this. We need direct foreign investment, okay, which we can use many of our ambassadors to do, okay. So we need foreign participation, a lot of it, okay, to rescue our economy, to rescue our people. We need that. We need international trade, okay. So a government that is serious should take that assignment very serious, and that is to appoint the ambassadors and give them a target. Give them an assignment to go and accomplish all around the world. There are a lot of opportunities all over the world. Opportunities to interface, opportunity to get grants, opportunity to get loan, opportunity to expose your economy to foreign participation and the rest of that. There's a lot, okay? And we have competent hands in the country, okay? People who have traveled widely, who could integrate proper and all that. So whichever way you look at it, that vacuum must be filled up. That vacuum must be filled up. We must do everything within our powers to ensure that we occupy all positions, put our people in the right frame, give them targets, evaluate their performance, and look at the outcomes. Okay, this thing the president is doing, traveling up and down, only him, with the aircraft and all over the place. Most of those countries don't have ambassadors, so we just have staff in our embassies. The vision and the mission of the foreign engagement is not defined. You understand? So you're supposed to assemble them, appoint them, have a meeting with them, have a retreat with them, tell them exactly what you want in the next 2 years, and then let's send them out. That's what it's supposed to do. Okay? How many embassies do you have in Nigeria? Other countries' embassies in this country? How many of them do you have without high commissions or high commissioners?
Just.
How many of them? So that tells you how serious we are in this thing we are doing. We think that fixing Nigeria is by going to Abuja to sit down and be racking our brains on what to do when the whole world is not a global village. We need to send envoys, emissaries to other jurisdictions of the world. You understand? Which is the purpose of international relations. And see what they can bring. If this one, the president said he goes to Saudi Arabia, he goes to this place, more investors and the rest of that. It could be easier if we have somebody there that is doing the legwork.
Because we could even see it, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the desire for the United States to have Venezuelans brought into Nigeria, about 300 of them.
Yeah.
Of course, didn't go down well. That particular discussion or conversation was held with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, rather than it would have been the ambassador. That should be
it would have been the ambassador. So the ambassadors are supposed to be reporting to the minister, the minister to the president, or vice versa. You understand? Look at the kind of thing that is going on there to bring people here. I mean, those guys too have their own. Because the country is torn apart. Venezuela.
Yes.
You understand? And then Nigeria just, from the blues, appears to be the only safe haven. I hope they understand what they're doing, because it's not. So, all these issues, so many of them, need to be discussed. We're going to have a better outlook if we have our ambassadors all over the world. You understand? We'll have a better outlook. Nigeria is highly respected, just that internally we're not able to solve our problems, our very perennial problems. Perennial problems like education, health, and
that health is very important.
We're not able to solve it. And so that's why we're having problems.
Okay. So I will take you back to the foreign participation, right? So, sir, I want to ask you that when it comes to this foreign participation, are you okay? Let me just direct the question. Do you think the president should actually scrutinize probably maybe some persons? Because some people might be thinking that okay, it might be political, it might be politics. That okay, the president might be playing. But do you think the president should just scrutinize some just random people, not just the ones that in power already? It could be youth, it could be just a random person, you understand? So people will not have the idea of, oh, okay, because this person is in power, that's why the president had to send this one to be appoint this one to be the ambassador of Nigeria to other countries.
No, if I get you clearly, picking random people is not what the president do. The presidency is an office, okay? When the president wants to recruit or the executive want to recruit, they have a machinery in the presidency that determines who the president wants to appoint.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Sometimes the president or the presidency will send a message to the state governors. The state governors will nominate one from each state or two from each state, just like you do a ministerial appointment. So they have a mechanism. It's not just to come out randomly. The president has the prerogative to pick anybody too, but they have a mechanism that they follow, a procedure that they follow. If they follow these two per state, it gives you a sense of inclusiveness. Okay, so then they get them in, they scrutinize them, they get the National Assembly's approval for them. They will send them for the DSS security check. DSS will run them on security on terrorism and all that. Drop the ones that failed the test, harvest the one that passed, and then the president will do the appointment and they'll do the posting. You understand? So that's how it's done, not random anybody. So people who qualify as ambassadors, or that can be ambassadors. So when you see them, you will not even doubt, because some of them are retired permanent secretaries. Some of them are people who have been on the field of international relations in the past. Some of them have been retired United Nations employers. Those who have experience, considerable experience in international politics and international matters. And the ones that say they will not go to NYC camp. You can take somebody to go and represent us, and he will not be able to represent anything because he will not know anything that's going on. So there are people who have considerable experience. That's how it is done.
Thanks for clarity.
Let's take a look at the after effect of not having ambassadors for the last 2 years, and what that had done to us, and what it would do to Nigeria going forward in the future. Because it seems to us the president is not even so concerned. He hasn't said anything about it. We do know that was why I asked in the first opening a question if this is becoming more political from the president, who wants possibly to appeal to those who might be dissent against him. So what do you think this has done to us economically, politically, and what we hope to see it do to us in the future?
We talked about part of it, that the issue of Venezuela and is putting pressure on the world's demand on Nigeria. No country can live in isolation. You understand? No country can live in isolation. As Venezuela is talking about those set of persons, our citizens are in other countries seeking asylum. You understand? Just recently, the Canadian authority rejected 3 Nigerians who went to seek asylum. And the reason they gave was because they were past policemen. And the Nigerian police have been so brutal to the citizens of Nigerians. And collectively they link the NSAS. They link, there are a lot of issues they tied around it.
And let's not forget the CDS issue too.
Yes.
The Chief of Defense Staff who was denied entry to Canada.
Yes, was denied entry to Canada because of the Boko Haram and all that. You see what it's costing us. It's costing us our reputation. Because when you are in your country, you are doing all you like. You think that your country is isolated. You don't know that other countries are studying what you are doing. You understand? By the time you want to have something very important to do in your country, they will tell you that no, you cannot come in. It's like and no matter how big you are, you won't come in.
That's true.
Even if you are holding a diplomatic passport, you're not allowed to come in for some reasons. And that is why when our leaders act in a certain way, you take a pen, do a petition against your leader, send it to an embassy. They will look at it. He wants to go to that country, on the basis of that they can refuse him. Yes, that's how we punish them too. But you know that we don't have citizen awareness on how to punish your leaders. You understand? My lawmaker in the National Assembly knows every step, every pronouncement he makes at the National Assembly. I will send him a message. This was good. This was good. This one you said is so bad. What were you thinking? And he will respond immediately. You understand? Because I'm following him bumper to bumper. I'm following what he's doing.
Yeah.
You understand? Let all the citizens follow their representatives like that. They'll be careful what they say. They'll be careful what they do in the house. They'll be careful how they treat the masses. Because the masses have the capacity to strangle them, either by petitioning them to authorities that will refuse them visa, or authorities that will deny them opportunities, or you can just do something. And they don't like being mentioned. Politicians don't like when you are mentioning their name in places. So if we can do that, we'll be able to streamline and get them to be a reflection of who we want them to be. But when we don't know their names, let alone even knowing their activities, then they have a field day.
Yes, very true. As bad as we might make the military look like, in 1988, if you can remember, toxic waste were dumped in cocoa in Delta State.
Yes.
By Italian traders and all. And it took the intervention of the Nigerian ambassador to Italy, who raised that concern, which of course ballooned and people knew about it. So is it fair to say, as much as we do not campaign for military style of government and administration, is it fair to say that the military truly do understand more of diplomatic ties and what it means to the country and relations to other countries and all?
Yes, the military is they are just an illegitimate form of government. Otherwise, that is not to say they don't have their thinking cap on. I mean, the military is the most disciplined organization in the world. The most disciplined, in fact, in some countries where they practice democracy, in Russia, for example, the moment you finish university, you must enlist in the army for the next 5 years, just like our youth service.
Yes, sir.
You know, the youth service is supposed to be military training.
Yes.
It's military training, even though it's been downplayed. Except that the DG recently said that this set of coppers can be deployed to go and fight war. We don't know.
That really it's really got controversial.
How much training has
the
given
training they
them.
have. They've eaten enough to even handle weapons.
That's also go and fight. So it's military training, but that of the Russians is escalated. They now understand marine, they understand different kinds of things. So if after 5 years you want to continue, fine. If you don't want to continue, at that point you can leave and then go do your career. What that does is, within that 5 years, the discipline you didn't get in the university, you get it within the military. And the military, they have their way. I grew up under a military parentage, so I understand what I'm saying. So you are focused. Nothing dissuades you. Nothing. Your targets, what you want to achieve, what you achieve. It will give society and the citizens some level of self-reliance training to be able to deploy themselves. If we have the resources, I would have suggested that the NYSC training be escalated and be made 5 years. After the 5 years, if you want to remain in the military fine, if you don't want, you can disengage. That way, you are building very powerful citizens. Look, an average Russian, if you go to the seaport, an average Russian, they play by the rules. Anything that bends, they won't accept it. You have to go by the rules. And that way, society is well managed. You understand? And in the event of the outbreak of insurrection or war, you know, everyone is trained.
Yes.
So you are cautious because everybody is trained. So that is what it should be. The military understands this. Okay. The example you cited shows that too and all that. So for me, I believe that we have come to the point where we need to appoint these ambassadors, put them in the right frame, get them to do the job. Let's monitor the results and the outcome. It is better to have them appointed, posted and dispatched, and then we monitor their progress than to leave it fallow. Because as it stands now, we don't have proper representations in many countries. All we have is just we have an office there. Then we have staffers and all that. But when you talk about taking, they will not even, the countries aren't even taking us serious. That's why they are discussing with the Minister for International Affairs, issues like that and the rest of that. So we should do better.
All right, Pastor, just before we let you off today, let's talk about the green passport. Okay. That one passport no Nigerian loves to hold when they desire to travel out of the country. Ayo Aino, a blogger, a traveler and a blogger, had to pay about $150,000 to get the passport of St. Kitts so he could do traveling better. He was so surprised how that with the passport of St. Kitts, it was easy for him to just, pass through the UK and nobody even disturbed him, as against what he used to go through with the green passport and all. How do you think actually we can get this better going forward? Is it from the ambassadors hopefully when they get to pick them, getting to discuss with communities, countries on how to maybe reduce this negative perception they give to holders of the green passport.
No, the holders of the green passport, nothing can change the perception other than the conduct of the citizens that hold the passport. You can't just go into a country and tell them, you know what, stop treating us like this. When your citizens are better behaved, when we're giving value, already we have a positive angle to it. We are respected all over the world for our music,
Culture.
IT, for culture, braveness, intelligence, and the rest of that. But there's a part to it that we are also known for internet fraud and scam, terrorism, and the rest of that. So those negative side have overshadowed the positive side. And so they are looking at, I mean, Tayo, I know very well when he was doing Uber
Yes,
in Lagos.
yes, exactly.
Yes, when he was doing Uber in Lagos here and how he started out on YouTube and now he's become very big and has to. Some of those passports are very expensive. Those send kits.
Yes, in kids.
There was time I wanted to get the passport of this country, Barbados.
Barbados.
Because with the Barbados passport, it's visa free to
Yes,
America.
visa free.
There's this country also, this country where Daddy Free's father is from. I can't remember the country again, but it's Romania.
Okay.
Those countries. But if you want to get their passport, they're giving you have to pay sometimes 100 million, 80 million, and the rest of
Because
it.
You have to think about it.
actually paid $150,000. So
$150,000.
looking at
have a choice
about
now.
170 million.
170 million
Yes.
to get the passport. Just because I remember then when I got to the United States, I was actually at the back of someone with a Barbados passport from Nigeria. It took like less than 3 minutes before I left the counter. Even though that day I too was quite very unfortunate because when I got there it took me like 4 minutes to leave. But ordinarily I will be there, they'll be asking me, hey, where's your ID card? Where's your professional? I'll give them. Where's your complimentary card? I'll show them. Well, they will just be asking. All this is they're asking. I have it. I'm not a thief. I don't have to be double in my country. So all those things. But when some countries, small countries, Barbados that's where Rihanna is from.
Yes.
A very small island somewhere. But because of the conduct of the people, they don't have bad reputation outside. So why would they not go free? Even do you know that it's easier for you to have that passport, an American passport, a South African passport, you can come in easily into countries in Africa than you that's having a Nigerian passport. We used to complain when we go for the African Bar Conference within Africa. We travel all the states in Africa. Then we are having, you can imagine East African countries like, what do you call them? Some of these African countries are asking us for visa. We have to get visa before going. South African countries will ask for visa.
Tanzania.
And you be looking like, I don't understand.
When they're supposed to stamp you in West Africa, we can go with our ECOWAS passport. You don't need that. Just they'll stamp you in at 90 days and all that. But those who are coming from America, those who rely on America, who are members of the African Bar, they just walk into any country in Africa without no passport, no what do you call it, visa, nothing. They just go and pass through. We that are in Africa cannot access African countries. You understand? You see the contradiction?
Yeah.
Then it's also more expensive using the airlines to travel within Africa than to travel out of Africa. Yes, because there are some airlines you want to use to go within Africa. You head to France first.
Okay.
Then from France, you'll be coming back to Africa. So, because first of all, the airlines are not viable. How many countries in Africa are viable apart from Ethiopia and Kenya? Rwanda. Nigeria don't even have a national carrier. So, all these diplomatic and international issues, Africa has to take it serious. And this is where the deposit of wealth is in the world. You can imagine, we don't have a rail system into Ghana. There's no railway into Ghana. You don't, whereas in Europe, you can take train to the whole of Europe. If you have a Schengen visa, you can from Belgium to Germany to everywhere. You understand? So Africa has refused to grow. Africa keeps parading itself with this visa regime, thinking that they are using it to punish people, not knowing that they are using it to debase and they are using it to make sure that growth never happens. Because what is in South Africa, for example, even a lot of people jump on themselves. What is in South Africa that's not in Nigeria? Even though our people jump on themselves going there and all that. I've been to South Africa many times and I've not seen anything there that's different from what is Nigeria, apart from the weather. Over there is cold. And because these people stayed longer than they should, the white people is so developed. South Africa, there's nothing you will see in the UK that you don't find a better version of it in Cape Town. You understand? It's a beautiful place. So, but they make it look like if we don't come there, we will not survive and all that. So, and there's some other African countries too. The thing about Africa need to be discussed. The African Union has to put its thinking cap. The sub-units like ECOWAS, the sub-unit of the AU, ECOWAS and the rest of that, they need to put their thinking cap on. Africa need to come together and unite and implement all its programs. And this fear that if we implement it, we that are ahead, won't they come and overrun us? These countries in Africa, apart from Ghana and is it Rwanda or South Africa? Apart from Ghana and South Africa, which other African country have population? They don't have population. Togo is not the size of Togo. Togo is not bigger than Kenya.
Very small country now.
Yes. The Gambia is less than what do you call it, Otta in Ogun State. You understand? So the population too is low. You understand? The francophone countries, every small village is a country. That's how they did it. Otherwise, Burkina Faso, Togo, and Mali, there's only one country.
Exactly.
If they had been, if their colonial history had been that of the Nigerian, the British, we will look at what Frederick did in the amalgamation.
Yes.
The whole of northern Nigeria, which is a whole country of itself, merged with the Southern Protectorate.
So if it were to be France, they would
There
have
been 6 countries. There have been 6 countries.
Nigeria.
Yes, somebody had argued that it would have been a better deal. Yes, someone had argued that, because, I mean, are we not saying we should separate now? 6 different countries. That would have been a better deal. That in that case, we will not have maybe the 6 geopolitical zone would have all been countries. How be it small countries.
True.
And they would have been better. But those, even the 6 geopolitical zone, the size is still bigger than the like of Togo.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? So,
all right, that's just about the time we have. We need to let it slide right now. Just like Professor Mulumba would say, the day Nigeria stands up, that is the day the rest of Africa would, of course, be proud. We just have to let it go for now. Thank you so very much, Pastor Fansufeli.
Thank you.
My
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
All right, we just have to go, Kinde.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'd love to say thank you to you for making this picture complete. Please do well to visit us if you may. You can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Gubike.
And I am Kendi Budun. Thanks
Thank you for
joining.
watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.